Hey everyone, welcome back. In this video, I will be briefing you about my UGC NET English Literature exam strategy. I have already done a video on my preparation journey. If you haven't gone through it and wish to look for it, then there is a link for you in the description. Now before I proceed, remember that whatever strategies I am going to brief you with is just a side of me. And I know it's not perfect, nor is it going to fit each one of you. Every other person has their background and own understanding of the work at their desk. So, take from here what suits you the best and mold it according to your requirements. Now, without any further ado, let's get started. First and foremost, as a UGC NET aspirant, you need to have a copy of the syllabus of both Paper 1 and Paper 2 by hand. It's not that long, so you can write it down, get a copy from the Xerox store, or use it in the PDF form. But make sure to keep it by your side, as all the readings will revolve around the syllabus. Then before you start reading the text, make sure to go through the previous year's question papers, as it will make you clear what to read, how to read, and to what extent you must read. At first, even if you don't know the answers, try to solve it. But don't just solve and move to the next question. Look at the options in the question. Try to get more information on them and check if there is any explanation for that particular question. Apps like Unacademy and Byju's Exam Prep have good explanation for PYQs. There may be other sources as well, but I stuck with these two only. The analysis of PYQs is a lengthy process. It cannot happen in a few hours. So, make sure to make it a habit to work on daily. Subsequently, attend free sessions on YouTube to understand the topics and then go on to read the main text. Or you may first read the text and then attend free YouTube sessions. See what suits you. Talking particularly about Paper 1, that is General Paper on Teaching and Research Aptitude, it is made up of 10 units in total, as listed here. Once you go through the syllabus, you will notice some units are simple, which means the topic doesn't need much stress to lay on. Questions asked from this section are easy, and well-learned can answer them quickly. So, the easy section includes, first, Teaching Aptitude, that has within itself topics like objectives of teaching, levels of teaching, learners' characteristics, methods of teaching, etc. Second is Communication, covering meaning, types, and characteristics of communication, effective communication and barriers to effective communication, etc. Third is Comprehension. Here, a passage of the text appears. They ask question from the passage, and the candidate is required to answer the question with the help of the passage. Next is the practical section. As its name suggests, that is, it needs to be practiced daily, as it includes numerical data and calculations. Over here, mathematical reasoning is the first topic that includes number or letter series, codes, relationships, fraction, time, distance, ratio, proportion and percentage, profit and loss, interest and discounting, averages, etc. Logical reasoning is the next topic, where you will learn the square of opposition and its application. Under Indian logical reasoning, you encounter heavy Sanskrit words. It will be cumbersome like pratyaksha, anumana, upmana, shabda, arthapatti, anuplabdhi, etc. This all will go above your head at first, but with the practice, you will ace it. The data interpretation includes graphical representation like bar chart, histograms, pie chart, table chart, and mapping data. Based on the graph presented, the candidate answers the question. Subsequently, there are theoretical questions. Here, students should focus on concepts and understand what it means. Over here, the research aptitude contains the meaning, types, characteristics of research, methods of research, thesis and article writing, etc. The purpose of including research aptitude is to make candidate aware of research and process, as many opt for PhD after passing the exam. Then comes ICT, that is Information and Communication Technology. It has basics of internet, email, audio and video conferencing, digital initiatives in higher education, ICT and governance, etc. People Development and Environment brings forth development and environment, environmental issues, human and environmental interaction, natural hazards and disasters, some international agreements and efforts, etc. For this unit, you must see what's relevant in the news. Last is the higher education system, which includes institution of higher learning and education in ancient India and the evolution of higher learning and research in post-independence India, policies, governance and administration, etc. In a nutshell, this is the syllabus of paper 1. I have not spoken about it as a whole, but I think these insights might help you to understand paper 1 up to certain extent. Also remember, UGC Net asks 5 questions from each of these 10 units, so do not try to skip any and have a hold over each unit. For paper 1, I didn't use too many books as shown here. I stuck to KVS Madan and it has covered the syllabus of UGC Net paper 1 holistically in point-wise manner with PYQs, also charts and diagrams are there whenever necessary and sufficient mock questions to solve. Also be cautious while studying it. Be selective. It's not that we have to read the whole book. See what's important based on PYQs and skip the rest. I have also preferred the PDFs of Talveer Sir from the CommerceNet Achievers Telegram channel. Talking about the free sessions for paper 1, I can say this with an assurance that I relied only on Talveer Sir. I haven't seen as dedicated teacher as he is. He makes learning fun and one can easily understand and learn what he teaches in that class itself. Also mnemonics of him are easy to remember. He easily covers the most challenging part of mathematics because for a student like me who was always nervous about the mathematical problems, his tips and methods genuinely made me through it. So remember to look for his YouTube and Unacademy free app sessions. Also look for his old videos if you are a beginner. Those videos contain every minute detail. The current ones are around PYQs with many insights that might be asked in upcoming exams. Besides Talveer Sir, you can also follow Toshiba ma'am at Byju's Exam Prep free app sessions and also on YouTube. I specially looked for the environment part because I didn't find Talveer Sir making more videos on the environment to that extent as he covers other units. Toshiba ma'am has a good collection of sources too, simple teaching and easy to understand. She also posts a lot about current affairs concerning paper 1 on her Telegram channel named Toshiba Shukla Paper 1 UGC Net. Talking about notes, if you want to make notes, make them. Otherwise, highlight them in the book or in the PDF, whatever is convenient for you. And lastly, do not forget to take Talveer Sir's 12 hours marathon on YouTube. It's the best source to revise before the exam along with your notes. Now, let's get into our subject and know about it in detail. However, please keep in mind your liking and understanding of the materials I will provide you. See what suits you. And it's not the case that I have followed everything I am about to mention. Only the highlighted portion of the slides I have worked on, and the rest I provided for you to have options. Also, I would suggest not to read or follow many sources. Sticking to standard sources and revising them repeatedly will be beneficial in the long run because it's always better to have few than many. Starting with the preparation, as I have stated earlier, first is the syllabus, then PYQ, and then comes reading books. PYQs will make you clear what all writers are recurrent in the exam. For example, there is always a question related to T.S. Eliot, William Wordsworth, James Joyce, W.B. Yeats, etc. Or what type of questions are asked. For example, in 2020 and 2021 exam, there were recurrent questions on periodicals. However, there wasn't any in 2022 exam. But it doesn't mean that they will not ask in the next. Also, PYQ makes sure of the important literary movements, important areas to focus, and etc. The syllabus is vast, so stick to PYQ and think according to the paper setter. Like what questions they might ask if they have asked something before. It ensures your deep understanding and taking hold of the subject. When you begin reading, start with British literature. It has a 50 to 60% stake in the question. However, the ratio may vary every year. Still, it's the crux of preparation. Now, Booklist. The first 4 units of the syllabus are drama, poetry, fiction, non-fiction. So, a significant chunk of the portion is covered here. It has plays, novels, poems, short stories, essays, etc. For me, I didn't prepare it separately. I only referred to standard books like Hudson and Routledge. Hudson is a straightforward basic book, not so lengthy and always good for beginners. But it doesn't cover the background of any period. That's the only negative aspect of it. Routledge is another standard book for UGC NET, and often direct questions are made from it. Also, English literature by William J. Long has suited many NET and JRF crackers. It has profound insights into the socio-condition and period of the time in point-wise manner. A compendious history of English literature by R.V. Trivedi is also referred to by many. And World Literature at Your Feast by Prem Shankar Pandey is excellent, simple, precise, and in a point-wise manner, throwing light on different authors and their works. It is good to know from this book about the author's information, as it's based on the UGC NET English Literature syllabus. However, it won't be enough to read this, as many writers are not mentioned. But for the quality of knowledge, I would give it a 3.8 out of 5. Also, Oxford Companion is lovely to have a look at. Furthermore, you may refer to list of authors from Arpita Karwa's website. Similarly, it is not complete, but it is of great help to an extent. And remaining important authors and their work can be done through Google or Wikipedia. It's unnecessary to see each work in detail. Have a short summary of those in chart format or in the manner of character list. But don't forget some important works like Waiting for Godot. One cannot escape from having a deep look into it. Reading a novel for such work always helps, but also consider the time you have for preparation. Coming to Unit 5, that is language. Freeman's technique and principle in language teaching is the suggested reading. I only did a selective reading of it and referred to Vinit Sir's book. Also, A History of the English Language by Albert C. Bogg and Thomas Cable is suitable for the origin of language, but again, it's bulky. Unit 6 is English in India. For this also, I have read Vinit Sir's book and KVS Madan, especially the higher education portion. It contains committees and acts before and after independence, which are of great help. Another standard source is the Story of English in India by N. Krishnaswamy and Lalit Krishnaswamy. Again, it's bulky, so be selective. For culture studies, I stuck to Pramod K. Nair, a standard book for culture studies. And for literary criticism, I followed Habib's. Again, it's bulky, so be selective in your approach. And B. Prasad is another good book for beginners. Literary theory I covered from Peter Barry. So, for culture studies, criticism and theory, I used a simple standard book for each. As these units are already heavy to engulf, Glue yourself with the text that you begin with and revise from there only. Don't get into too much crowd of books. Likewise, for insights of theories and critiques, Prem Shankar is the best, but Google others that are not present in it. For the last unit, I didn't refer to any book as such. I only took overview of Research Aptitude from paper 1 and the book of Vinit Sirs. And yes, Research Method in English by M.P. Sinha is another good book for this unit. Some another important books include M.H. Abrams for literary terms. C.R. Tattarwal is the best to refer for PYQs. It explains every question, and it is good to get all PYQs in one place rather than downloading them individually. For American literature, selective reading of Catherine Van Spenkeren is good. You can cover Indian literature from A.K. Mehrotra. And the remaining ones like Australian literature, German literature, Russian literature, African literature, Canadian, Asian and Arabic literature, etc. For this, I followed Prem Shankar. However, I judiciously googled prominent world authors that weren't included in it. English literature is such a vast area that reading only the standard sources would not be sufficient, and you have to make brave use of internet to crack the exam. For this, you may use Wikipedia, Britannica, SparkNotes, LitCharts, PDF Drive, IGNOU Study Material, Google Scholar, Shodhganga, literariness.org. It's a good source for enhancing theory-based knowledge. Then, Poetry Foundation. Poems are often asked, so do not skip to look at major poems like Rape of the Lock, Lycidas, Paradise Lost, etc. And last, Indian Express. Look for the literature section. Similarly, Telegram channel, as stated here, are good source for extra information, quizzes, best platform for clearing doubts and for making friends. Don't forget to check this. Next is free sessions or free classes on YouTube. I think a major chunk of my preparation was with the help of YouTube. The audio visuals are helpful for retention purpose. We can watch any video as many times as we want and clear our doubts through the comment section. Now for those who don't want to join any classes and do self-studies, the list I have provided here is like all standard books collected together. I am confident in stating this because I have followed it and it worked wonders for me. Nevertheless, it's a bulky one. It's not necessary to go through each one of it because even I have not been able to complete all of it. I finished only the highlighted ones. So, syllabus, PYQs and important topics should be in your mind to take the most out of the free session. First, we have free sessions for British literature. The playlist of NPTEL History of English Literature by Professor Mirin Simiraj is an excellent compilation of 65 videos. It covers each period chronologically, with pictorial details, charts and others. It ranges from the early Saxon period to the 20th century. But for the contemporary literature, you need to look for the Google and other sources. Similarly, there is a playlist of E at 6 Videopedia by Kalyani ma'am with 143 videos. Be selective in following it. And ma'am's linking techniques indeed make you remember work in that class itself. Another playlist of poetry is by Professor S.P. Danavil sir with 77 videos. From this, cover all the videos before Chaucer, as it has forms of poetry, poetic devices, figures of speech, sounds, etc. And be selective after Chaucer. It is good for knowing certain poems and author details from here. To get a bird's eye view of American literature, playlist of History of American Literature by English lecturer with 11 videos is good enough. It's simple. Though it's in Hindi, it's good to know. It is easy and of less duration. The entire playlist can be covered in 1.5 to 2 hours. Also, the American Literature playlist by Vidya Mitra is adequate for knowing about American authors. However, Be selective in its use. I also found the playlist of American Literature and Culture by NPTEL IIT Madras helpful, but I didn't get time to complete it. You may have a look at it. For Indian literature, I didn't find any playlist as such, but I did Indian Aesthetics from English Study Point. It's a good source of 7 videos. And for Origin of English in India, watch this 4 hours marathon on higher education on Unacademy YouTube channel by Talveer sir. He has effortlessly covered all of it. There are charts for it and he has explained it most effectively. So you must look at it. Also search Indian authors on YouTube for more details. Indian fiction is covered by Professor Mirin Simiraj with 47 videos. Again, be selective in its approach. And Indian poetry by Binod Misra with 42 videos. Be selective over here as well. Culture Studies is covered in the playlist of Introduction to Culture Studies by Professor Avishesh Pauri. And Kalyani ma'am has dealt with it very nicely. You may follow these both, but be selective. Literary criticism and theories in the best way are covered by Professor Mirin Simiraj. Many works of criticism and theories are there in this playlist, as shown with an explanation from the original text. So surely check it. For language or linguistics, the pedagogical part can be covered from Let's Learn by Himanshi Singh. Directly search topics on her YouTube channel. And I have also covered some of it in our channel's playlist of ELT with 8 simple videos. Also take a glimpse of videos by Kalyani ma'am. They are of great value from an exam point of view. She has laid out some strong points of linguistics in a fun way. Now literary terms are often asked in exam in the form of match the following or other. So if you want a good explanation and good hold on it, then Kalyani ma'am's literary term videos on Unacademy app will be enough. Even if you don't read any separate book on it, it has a lot of terms, alphabetically explained through pictures and thoroughly researched from M.H. Abrams and Cadence, with 16 videos in total. However, the video's length is almost 2 hours each, and sometimes it might get boring to watch it in one go. So divide it and watch. Videos on research method and MLA citation are from the Kalyani ma'am's YouTube video. And the first 4 units can be separately covered from the Study Lovers channel. Apart from this, I suggest Neerja ma'am's classes on both YouTube and Byju's free app sessions. They are super informative and ma'am's teaching style is fantastic. Also her playlist in Byju's exam prep, UGC Net and JRF and all set exams have more than 400 videos. Again, be particular in watching it. Free sessions of Kalyani ma'am, which she often takes on night on her YouTube channel, are another source of treasure. Also, the English Study Point channel has excellent handling of net English literature topics with deep insight on PYQs. One must not forget to check it even. So that's it for this video. I know I have made a lengthy video and a lengthy list to refer to. However, be cautious in its use and give space to yourself for settling in this zone. I will soon come up with some more strategies for the exam in the upcoming video. And if you appreciate my efforts, do consider placing a like. And I look forward to seeing you at the next one. Thank you.